Hello. Hello there. Is anybody online? Hello, I see Rachel Carroll. New sub. Welcome to Charities Bubble, your number one show where we talk about issues about the green card. We talk about the tips on the successful application and successful processing of the green card lottery. I'm going to give it a few minutes to see if someone is going to be online. Like I said, I was going to be online at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 10:01 a.m. here in the US. It's still early in the morning. Is anybody there? Hello. Today I am not going to go to Facebook. I just want to be on YouTube. That way I can interact with my people. So I'm going to give it a few minutes to see if anybody will join me. Green Card Lottery Q&A. I have had so many questions, very, very, very many questions. Let me try and see if I can call some people. Let me do this for a minute. I say wait. I see one person has joined me. Can you please say hi so that I can know who you are and I can acknowledge you? Welcome to Charities Bubble USA. 5 people have joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. Peter Moturi, hi Charity, keep up with the good work. Welcome to the show. This is your number one channel where we talk about the Green Card Lottery. And I normally come live to answer questions. I have had numerous support from people. People have subscribed to my channel. People have asked questions. So people are interested in this journey. So without further ado, Rachel Carroll, welcome. I am going to go to the questions because I have so many questions today that I need to go through, and people can join us as we are continuing with this session. So normally, my name is Charity Maureen Jockey. Hi, new sub. Welcome to Charities Bubble USA. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. We talk about the green card here. And just to introduce myself, my name is Charity Nganga. And I live here in the US. I have been here in the USA for 7 years now. I came here through the Green Card Lottery. So I can tell you a thing or two. I have some tips on the green card because I went through the process until I became a US citizen. I'm a very proud US citizen. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I know that you will be here and we will be celebrating. So like I said, I want to talk about questions. I have so many questions that people have asked, and I want to see if I can go through them. First of all, I want to acknowledge my new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you, and we welcome you to this show, Charities Bubble USA, your number one show. So the first question that I am going to talk about, Judy Rami, that is my number one champion. Hey, Charity, it's always a pleasure to see you answering questions. Be blessed always. Mtwapa tuned in. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will acknowledge people as they come in. Now I see that 8 people are watching me. Now I am going to go to the questions that you have asked me. and I will start with YouTube. Now, normally I decided that I will just be coming on YouTube. So if people want to find me, they will only find me on YouTube. I'm no longer going to be doing the Facebook live shows. So let's see. I'm gonna start from the top. Okay, Davis Dashana, you're online. You are on time. If I submit the DS260, shall I wait them to communicate, or I book a medical, or what's next after submitting the DS260? Now, when you submit your DS260, you will wait, because basically what happens when you win the green card, there's a number before they issue you a passport number. The passports, the visa number, sorry, it goes with ranks. So until your visa is ready, you will wait to see an email. And that is why I said, when you're doing the application, you must give an email that you have direct access to, because they are going to communicate with you with the email. So you cannot go ahead and schedule your medical exam, because you have to wait for that email. It's going to communicate where you will go for your medical exam, and at the same time, it's gonna communicate on the date of the interview. Now, so you have to wait. Now, when you get that email, is when you are going to call the medical place that they tell you to go, and then they will schedule appointment that will correlate, or that will go together with your visa interview, because they have to go hand in hand. They don't have, like, I remember ours, we went on a Friday for the medical, and then our interview was supposed to be the coming week on Tuesday. So very, very important. You have to wait until they send you an email. So keep on looking out on those emails, because they're going to come in and you're going to see the instructions, because you wait, you go as they instruct you. So I see Mr. Kato. Hi, greetings from Somalia. Welcome to the show. Charlene Msimwa, watching from South Africa. Welcome to the show. This is Charities Bible USA, your number one channel where we talk about the green card. Innocent Wakunga. Hi, Innocent from Uganda, from Joyce Nice in Canada. Thank you for joining us. I have a Boki layer looking pretty, and also thank you for that compliment. Thank you. Welcome to the show. So let's see another question here. So hi Charity, good work you're doing. Where can I take a good passport photo? Now, when we went for our medical, like I have said before, we didn't have a good photo, so they sent us to Village Market. But I am going to read for you the requirements, or what they need for you, what they require for your photo, so that if you know the requirements, that you can take this photo anywhere, as so long as it goes with what they require. So I am going to read here. So submitting a digital photo image, because you have to take the photo, upload it on your computer or on your laptop, so that when you go to do the application, you have to upload it. Now, Emerge Kenya TV, I'm here watching and listening in. Thank you for joining in, Emerge Kenya TV. Welcome to Charities Bible USA. So I'm going to read about the requirements of the photo, and it's upon you to decide where to go. And I think I should post this information on the YouTube channel, so that people can just refer to it as we go. Now, your passports must be in color. It has to be a color passport. It has to be in focus. In focus means you are looking direct at the camera. Now, when you look at me, I keep on going back and forth, because I look at my computer and I look at my camera. So I go back and forth. But now when you're taking the photo, make sure that you are looking direct to the camera, because they want to take the face. They want to take your face. So make sure you don't close your eyes. Your eyes should be open and you're looking direct at the camera. So the size of the head is between 1 inch and 1 and 3/8 inches. That is 22 millimeters and 35 millimeters, or 50% and 69% of the image's total height. So if you go with those measurements, and I'm going to post them on the channel on YouTube, you can be able to tell the photographer, and they can take that photo for you. So you necessarily do not have to go to village market like we did in village. So because if you are in Somalia, if you're in Uganda, if you're in South Africa, if you have the right measurement, just go to the photographer, tell them this is what I require, and they will take the right photograph for you. Another thing, that photo must be taken within 6 months. So it has to be within 6 months. You cannot use a photo that is older than that. Another thing, take in front of a plain white off-white background. So your background should be white. It's now like this background of mine. When you look at my background, it is not white. So this one cannot qualify. The background must be white. You have to use on a white background. Another thing, take in full face view. So your full face must be facing the camera. They must be able to see your face. Innocent Wakunga, Charity, when should I apply for the green card and where is the link? I'm going to talk about that question here in a little bit. Thank you and welcome to Charities Bubble USA. You have to have a neutral facial expression. You can smile a little bit. Don't be here in the US we say when you are angry, we don't say angry, we say that you are mad. So don't be mad, just smile just a little bit, not much like a big smile, just a little bit. And then taken in clothing that you normally wear on a daily basis. So like the normal clothes, that is what you are going to wear. If you are a policeman or you are a security officer, those people normally wear uniforms. Do not wear uniforms when you're taking that photo. So very, very important. Now, do not wear a hat. Don't wear a hat or a head covering. Don't wear those unless it is a religious thing. Like I know in Kenya, there were Corinos. They normally wear a head turban, a white clothing on their head. If it is related to your religion, even I know some Muslims do wear something on their head. If it is your religion, they do not discriminate against religion, but any other do not wear. Another thing, if you have glasses like mine, do not wear your glasses when you're taking these photos. Make sure that it doesn't matter whether they are prescription you are given by the doctor or they are shades or whatever. Remove them and take your plain face. Now, when you look at me without glasses, I look different than when I am wearing my glasses. So they want to see you as natural as they can. So please do not put on your glasses when you are taking that photo. I'm going to put my glasses on because the light is too bright over here. Now, do not put on headphones. You know those headphones that everybody is putting on nowadays? They're nice and they're beautiful, but they are not required in that photo. So don't put your headphones there. Another thing, the only thing that you are allowed to wear is a hearing device. Now, if you have a hearing problem, normally the doctor will prescribe something to help you to hear. So that one you can put on. So that's the only thing that's allowed. Now, I will, like I said, I am going to put this information on a video, and people can watch it, and you can know, like you can refer there for the requirements of that photo. So if you know those requirements, you don't necessarily have to go where we went. Just go with those requirements to your photographer, and they're going to take they're going to take the required photograph, because a photograph is very important, because those are some of the things that will increase your chances of winning. We say that this is a computer thing. It is not like it's selected by a person, but the computer has a sensor. It knows the mistakes. So if your form has many mistakes, you might not enter into the draw. So it would increase your chances if you filled out that form correctly, and at the same time, if you put in what they require specifically. So make the video about the picture very important, Mr. Kato. I will do that. Aboki Leia is saying, my children don't have a passport, but I have one. Can I apply then process theirs later? Yes. Only the main applicant, the first applicant, is required to have the passport. Now, when you win the green card is when you will do the application of the passport for your babies. So don't worry about them. Make sure that if you have yours, use yours, and it has to be a current passport, And then after you have won is when you are going to process for their passport. Now, I see 13 people are watching me. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. This is Charities Bubble USA, your number one show where we talk about the green card. Now, Karen Nikrote, beautiful, watching from Saudi Arabia. And Alfred Ontiri, my good friend, he's in the Middle East. Actually, I should bring him to the show so that he can tell us about the Middle East. We want to know what's happening all around the world. So I'm gonna be giving you a call here in a little bit so that we can plan on that. Now, let's see. Another viewer here, John Morongo. I'm reading from. It's easier for me to read from my phone, so that I can go answering, because if I start tampering with my computer and my phone, I might mess up. So hi Charity, I heard you say about kids above 21 years. Now my firstborn is turning 23 years. So when filling the green card, do I include him, or what happens in this case? Now, if your son is 23, you cannot fill out for them. They only require 21 years and younger. And the 21 years has to be single. They cannot be married. So if they are not married, you file for them. And another thing, if your 21-year-old has a child, do not include that child, because that child is not your child. That's your grandchild. So if your 21-year-old has a grandchild, you cannot include the grandchild. That is what they say on their website. So make sure that if your child is 21, you can include them only if they are not married. Now, there's another question that I was asked, that if your son was 21 when you are doing the application, and then by the time you win, they are 22 years old, what happens? Do they get disqualified? Now, if you apply for the green card when your child is 21 years old, when you win in May, even if they are 22, they do not overgrow. So they still qualify as derivatives, and they benefit from your green card. So as long as they are 21 years old, they qualify, even if you win your green card when they are 22 years old. But like I said, if they have children, if they are married, then do not involve them. So if your son is 23 years old, they can do the application for themselves, because that's an adult. Here in the US, 21 they still consider them as kids, as your kids, but when they are 22, they are not kids anymore. They are adults. So so you can't include your 23-year-old in the application. Now, Achien Opio was asking me, how much is it paying rent in the US? Now, paying rent in the US depends on the state that you live in. Now, my state where I live in, you can find houses as cheap, like the one that we came in when the first time that the first apartment that we came in, we used to pay $550. So it's not very expensive if you're comparing with the dollar, because the dollar is very different from the shilling. And when you come to the US, you have difficulty, because when you go to the store to buy something like milk, you find that milk is $3. Oh no, sorry, milk is $1.79. So you're like, that is 179 Kenya shillings, or maybe close to 200 shillings. But when you come to the US, your mindset goes back and you start thinking like a dollar. So it's $550 here. You can find an apartment here in Kansas for $550. But if you go to somewhere like New York, you'll find that an apartment might be going even from $1,000 to $1,200. So it depends on the state that you are living in. There is no fixed price. And at the same time, it depends on the area, because now, like you can be living in an area that the houses are more expensive, and maybe other people are living in an area. For example, if the people who live in the ghetto, their houses are not very expensive. But here, it doesn't matter whether you live in the ghetto. The American system has equalized everything. Even the poorest people, there are things that must be in their houses. They must have a fridge. They must have a cooker, a gas cooker, and they must have a microwave. Those are very important. Like if someone is renting their house, they must put those things in the house. So it depends on the state. I cannot tell you that it's a fixed price that we have. Now, let me read here. Let me show them. Maureen Jockey is asking, should I do natural hair or braided hair for the passport photo. I would say like just plain, just make it plain, a plain photo. Don't like maybe you can have braids that are red, blue, whatever. Just make it natural. I think it like even like my hairstyle. I think that would work. That would work. So it can be, it doesn't matter whether it's braided or whatever, but do not have all those fancy colors that people are putting on their hair. They are not bad, they are okay, but just make it as plain as you can. Even if you have a hairstyle, have just a simple hairstyle that does not take off the attention from your face, because what they need on that photo is your face. Even if you want to go to a mile ahead and say, I'm just going to go with just plain hair, it's okay, it doesn't matter, as long as you are not taking, what they want with that photo is that it is not taking any attention away from your face, because they want to see your facial features. Now there's hi Charity, I'm watching from John Hannesburg. Can I use the same photo I used last time? Thank you, and keep up the good work. We really eat. I think it's Toya. I hope that I have pronounced your name properly. Now they want a photo that is 6 months old, 6 months old. So if it cannot be older than 6 months. So if your photo is older than 6 months, then you cannot use that one. Now I am 17 years old. This is and 8 months. Can I apply and I finish my high school? The legal age to apply for a green card is 18 years old. So you still have 4 months to go. But your parent can apply for you. So your parent can apply for you. But you are still very young, 17 years old. Oh my gosh, I wish I was 17. 17 years is very, very young. So just have your mom or your dad just apply it for you and you'll be fine. Okay. Imagine Kenya TV. You used to be neighboring. I live in Oklahoma for a while. Wow, that is, yeah, those are our neighbors. Like I can drive to Oklahoma for just a few hours and I'm there. So thank you for always being there in my live shows. 15 people are watching me. Yeah, like it just brings joy in my heart when I see like people are just like interested in this show. Let me see if I have another question here. So I talked about the rent. Charity, can someone look for a host before applying in Canada? Now, we did a show with Joyce K Canada. I hosted her in my show and we were talking about Canada. Now, she said that, and these are her words, these are not my words, that in Canada, you do not need to have a host. So it's not like US. US is very different because a host is a main thing. If you don't have a host, they might not give you a visa because they don't know where you're going. But in Canada, it's different. She said that if you're going to in Canada and you don't have a host, you can even have someone pay. She even said she can, if you contact her, she can pay for you for Airbnb. I know that Airbnb is in Kenya, whereby people are renting houses. Even people are coming from the US and they're renting houses and they stay in them for a few days and then they come back to the US. So when you go there, you will find your apartment is ready. You will just go in and you will stay and life will go on. So in Canada, they do not require a host. But when you are coming here to the US, you must have someone who is hosting you because they do not want you to get lost and they want you to understand the American system. This country, what I have learned is that there are so many guidelines. There's so many guidelines. Even when you're going in the highway, you find that it tells you where you're going. If you want to exit, before you exit a certain road, you will find that there are three like road signs that are telling you where to exit. Even when I went to the airport, actually, and you don't, if you are new in the airport, it's very hard for you to get lost because there are signs, there are arrows, they're telling you where to go. They're telling you, if they tell you you're going to a certain door, you have arrows that are directing you directly there. So it's the same thing when you come here, they want you to have someone who will hold your hand for the first few days to show you the way so that you do not get mixed up in the system. So that's a very, very important question. So in Canada, you don't require one, and that is from someone from Canada. And but here in the US, you must have a host. But do not start looking for a host before you win the green card. Do not start looking for a host before you win the green card. But after you win the green card, then start looking for a host because that is required, because you require the host to give you their address. So So, Grace Rimo, nice work. We enjoy your channel. Thank you for that. Thank you for that compliment. I really appreciate everybody who is watching me. Mr. Kato, I will reach 18 years before result. Is that problem to apply it? Now, the problem is the application time. If you are reaching 18 years old in October, that will be fine. But they require you to be 18. Now, do you have a passport? I don't know if you have a passport. Maybe you can type there and tell me if you have a passport. But what I know is that you have to be 18. You have to be an adult for you to apply. Those are US laws. And even for example, let me give you a good example. Now, like my son, when he went to get his driver's license, he got his driver's license when he was 16 years old. We had to take him so that we can sign for him. You see what I mean? And it's a restricted permit that he is getting. Even when he was 17, when he was going to renew, we were still there. But when my son turned 18, when we went, I didn't need to sign anything for him. So when you are below that age, you are still considered a minor, and they will require consent from your parents. So it's not too late. You will still apply for the green card. Now, Grace Werimo is saying we are winning the green card in Jesus' name. America, we are coming. Oh, yes, you are coming to the US. We will be waiting for you. Florence Wachuka, hi Charity, we are asking, if you have college certificate for 1 year and a job experience of 10 years, is it okay to fill the job experience slot or high school diploma? Now, when you go to fill out the application of the green card, now it is going to ask you many things. The first thing is going to ask you, primary education. Do you have primary education? What do I mean by primary education? Primary education means you went through class 1 to class 8, now like the Kenyan system, and you got that certificate, the KCP certificate. That's primary education. Secondary education, or the secondary diploma or GED, is whereby you went through the whole of high school and you got the certificate. But if it says some high school means that you went to high school but you did not get a certificate. So don't put that. Put what you have a certificate for. Okay? So if you have that college certificate, put it there, because that is your college level. Put it there. That one, because you have something to show that you went to college. But if you went to college and you dropped out, then you can say that you went to college because you don't have anything to show for it. So put your college, and it doesn't matter. The job experience, most of people is that because you cannot fill 2 slots when you're doing the application. So if you have that certificate for the college, that is what you put. Now they won't ask you about anything else. Now, like me, when we won our green card, I remember, and that is on my side. I had done training in hairdressing for 13 years. Now, when I went, I just gave them my Form 4 certificate. That was it. They didn't even ask what I was doing, because I just gave them their my Form 4 certificate, and that was it. So if you have a certificate for the level of education that you have reached, write that level of education and you're good to go. You're good to go. So that's a very, very, very important question. I'm 20 years and I have a passport. Am I eligible to apply for a green card? Yes, you are. 20 years old, you are eligible to apply for a passport. Now, so I talked about the photograph. Can we know the countries that are eligible now? Oh my gosh, these are many countries. Now, let me see if I have the list of the countries. And if I do not, I am going to post a video here in a little bit about it. I normally like to type my stuff, but I think I left that paperwork. Oh, I think I do. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to read just a little bit. Now, this information, you get it from travel.state.gov. Travel.state.gov. And they have the countries that qualify for the DV. They are countries with historically low rates of immigration to the United States. Like they have very few people who have immigrated to the United States. For example, a place like Canada. he doesn't qualify to apply for the green card because maybe most Canadians have come here. So the countries are many. I'm just gonna mention just a little bit because they are more than 100 countries. Now I'm gonna mention some countries in Africa. I'm going to read very fast because this is a long list. We have Algeria, Angola, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Cabo Verde, Central African Republic. We have Chad, Comoros. We have Congo. We have Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho. Is it? I don't know if it's Lesotho or Lesotho. I don't know, whatever. Liberia, Libya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Mauritius, Morocco, Mozambique, Namibia, Niger, Rwanda, Senegal, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, South Africa, South Sudan, Swaziland, Tanzania, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Those are the African countries that qualify for the green card lottery. I read only of Africa. So go to travel.state.gov and look your country there. So I hope that I have touched the country that you are in. Those are the countries that qualify. Normally they have the countries that many people have not immigrated in the US. So now let's see. These are the questions. When is the best time to apply for a green card? Is it at the beginning, middle, or towards the end of the lottery? Do the application at the beginning. And if you're very late, do it at the middle. Do not wait the last minute. Please don't wait for the last minute. I still haven't seen the date, but I know it's going to be early October. I'm going to look and see. If I see it, I'm going to go online and announce the date because I want to be accurate. I want to give accurate information in my channel. I don't want to tell something that I don't know. Now, I talked about the photo. Let me see if there's another question. How do I apply for the green card? I have posted a I posted a video 3 days ago about the process of application of the green card. So please go there and read those instructions. They are self-explanatory, and I am thinking of uploading another, like the sample, and just going about it and telling you how to do it so that you can do it for yourself. We said here we are learning how to do it for ourselves. Let's see if they have another question. Hi, Charity. What if you are never married but the kids have the dad's name? Now the American system recognizes marriage if you have a marriage certificate. Now, if you live with a man in your house here in the US, not in Kenya, if you live here with a man in your house, even for 10 years, and you have kids, they still call each other boyfriend and girlfriend because you're not legally married. So what I can say is that if your children have marriage certificate, their birth certificate has their dad's name, so there must have been some time that you had lived together. For me, I would say that was your boyfriend. So you don't necessarily have to put him there. But the children's birth certificate has his name. So if the children's birth certificate has his name, that means that you were married traditionally. That's what I am trying to interpret it, because there is no way that I am going to put the name of the birth certificate of my kids on a man that I did not live with. You might have lived together, but you separated. You see what I mean? So because of the kids, they might ask you if you have custody of those children, because they have to know for sure that you're not kidnapping your own children and taking them away from the dad. Here there's something called a parent kidnapping her own children. Like if I took my kids and I went to Kenya with them, they have to know that my husband knows that I am taking my kids with me to Kenya. I'm not just taking my kids just like that, because I might be taking them away from him, and that's it. So if that man was involved, what I would do is that you were in a traditional marriage, and that's what we were in a traditional marriage, but you ended up separating. So you can always put him there, but if you're no longer together, you don't have to put him on the DS-260. That is what I can do. But you still have to have something to show that you have custody of your children, because they will require to know because you're by yourself. So that is how I can answer that question. Now, if you are if you're separated, in like you are married together and you had a marriage certificate, because that's what is recognized. They only recognize a marriage that has paperwork, and you are separated, you have to have a document showing that you are separated, a court document that you are separated. You cannot be separated by word of mouth. Like, for example, you have moved from your husband's house, you have gone to live in an apartment, and then you say that you have separated. No, you cannot do that, because they will require you to show them some documentation saying that so and so was separated by the court, or the court saw it fit that these people cannot live together, but they are separated because they have maybe assets, or they have some properties that they need to decide, or maybe they have some loans that they want to pay, or maybe they have to figure out how to take care of the children. So there is no way you can leave your husband's house, your legal husband's house, because they recognize legal marriage, and then you say that you're separated and you don't have a separation documentation. So a marriage, on the marriage issue, the immigration recognizes only the marriage that has the paper. But if you say that your children's names are their last names have that man, then that means that in one point you are in a traditional marriage. Because like me, I was in a traditional marriage in my husband. That's what we do. That's our tradition. We cannot say that because we are coming to the US that we were not going to follow our tradition anymore. No. But when we had the green card, we had to legalize our marriage. So you don't have to include him in your DS-260, but you have to have something showing that you are the one who has custody of the kids. You see what I mean? So so that's what I can say about that point. Another thing, if you're divorced, make sure that you take the divorce certificate, and if your spouse is dead, you don't have to list them there. Just leave it. Because if you list them and they are dead, then you'd have to take whatever the documents for that. So so it's very, very important. And we said, if you have a wife, a legal wife, just put them there. If you have many wives, you can't put all your wives, just put one wife. So that's very, very, very important for you to remember that about that marriage thing. So so that's that. Let me look for another question here. Let me see if there's another question. So this one was asking about housework. Now, I posted a video about 2 years minimum work experience. Now, and I said you go to that website, depending on the work that you're doing, o.net. It's a dot. It's a dot that looks like a star. It's called an asterisk. Now, go there, type what you do. Even house managers, housewives, they are called house managers. You type their house managers. It is gonna give you a code of that job, and that is what you should say that you do, because it's there. If you're a fisherman, if you're a tailor, if you're a hairdresser, if you are a mechanic, all those job codes are there, and that is a guide to tell you the work that you are in is gonna guide you on how to fill out that form. And I have that video there, so please watch it and go to that website, because I've actually what I did, I put the website on my screen so that you guys could know specifically the website that you are going to. So it's very, very important for you to do that. So 16 people are watching me. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Charities Babo, your #1 channel. We are having a conversation about the green card. We are answering questions here, and I can see that people are very, very, very interested in this. Let me see if there's another question. Emerge Kenya TV is watching and listening in. Innocent Wakunga, Charity, when should I apply for the green card and where is the link? Now, travel.state.gov is where we are applying our green card, and I said I am going to announce the date, but it should be early October. It must be early October. So when the specific date comes in, I will come here and I will let you know the date, but you must be ready with your passport, and you must be ready with your photo. And I talked about the photo at the beginning of the show. So make sure that you have that. Okay. Let me see if I have another questions. Hi, Charity. I read that one. Oh, I read that one too. So about 20 years, I did that. So if you win a green card and you have finances challenges, can you travel and leave kids? They come later on, and how long should should they stay back in Kenya? So if you win a green card, you have won the green card, but you have difficulty, right? Now, you can leave your children, but they have to have a custodian. But you have to indicate in your DS-260 that you want to travel separately. But when you're traveling separately, when you tell them, when you indicate there and when you go and tell them in the embassy that you're going to travel separately, they don't have a problem as long as you tell them that you cannot afford like to travel all of you. But when you come to the US, you have to make sure that your family members that you left back at home are in the US within 6 months. The green card visa is only for 6 months. You have to be in the US for within a time frame of 6 months. So if you are planning to leave your kids 6 months, that's it. And it's a good question, but for me, what I would say, unless you are leaving them with your dad, because I know there's some people who one spouse has traveled and they have left the kids with the other spouse, then that would be okay. But if you are not, then I would do anything to go with my children to the US. I would not leave them behind. I would sell everything. Because even if you sell, even if you have maybe your parents and tell them maybe to sell a small piece of land for you, you are able to refund that money very fast when you come to the US. Because here in the US, you work, you get money, and the dollar is not like the shilling. Like right now, I think the dollar is trading like 100 and something shillings. So when you win the green card and you have had the visa, whatever you have, do not feel afraid of selling it. Sell it so that you can raise the fare and come to the US with your children. But if you have one parent that you can live them with, or someone that you really trust, you can leave them. But I don't know if I like personally I don't know, but sometimes finances they force you to do some things. But make sure that when you come to the US, you go and get your family as fast as you can. That's what I can say, because for me, like, kids are very sensitive. To me personally, children are very sensitive to me, because I've had experiences with children, and when it comes to my kids, I think I would sell everything. I wouldn't leave them unless I'm leaving them with their dad, but I wouldn't want to leave them for a long time. So make sure that you do that. And if you're a man and you want to travel, and you think that you're going to forget your wife, and you're not going to send them fare to join you in the US, and they were given a visa, just so you know that when you go to apply for your citizenship, they will want to know, they will want to know how they will want to see the interaction and everything. And if they realize that you never went back for your family, you might not get your citizenship. I've seen people who have gotten the green card and they have stayed for 10 years, and then after 10 years they go and they don't get the citizenship. So you have to be truthful. So 6 months, go get your family and go to the US. But fill out in your DS-260 and say that you are going to leave your family behind. It's okay. They don't have a problem with that. They do not have a problem with that. Now, so you can leave your kids with your mom. It's okay. There's no problem, but as long as you go and get them in 6 months. Now let's see. So this one I talked about it, about they were never, if you are never married, you are never married. The US immigrant recognizes people who are married with paper. Like I said, here in the US, if you're married to someone and you have not gone to the judge to be married, or to church to be married, you don't have a marriage certificate, that is your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It doesn't matter even if you stay for 30 years. It doesn't matter. That's not your husband. That's your boyfriend. So that's how it is here. Okay, let me see if I have another question. So I am gonna leave that, but I am gonna read you some questions that I have here that are I got them from travel.state.gov that people frequently ask. I am gonna go through them and I'm gonna answer them very fast. So that if there is anything that you wanted to ask and you were not able to ask, then maybe I can cover it. Now, if you're taking photos of a baby, a toddler, make sure that you put that baby flat on a white sheet, white piece of cloth, and then you take their picture, and it's the same, you take the face. So that's for the baby. um so I talked about the native countries, and I read the countries. I read the countries in Africa that qualify. So can I still apply for a green card if I was not born in a qualifying country? For example, maybe you were born in Canada, but you want to come and live in the US, and you know that your country doesn't qualify. You can only qualify if your spouse comes from a qualifying country. So if your spouse maybe comes from Kenya or Uganda, you can apply, and you can get a citizenship, American citizenship, from that person who is from a qualifying country. So you can do that. Another thing, how many DV visas will go to the people? Now each year they limit. They have a number of the visas that they give. So they determine, and it's normally 50,000. So among those 50,000, you can be one of them. That is why I'm telling you to try. Because there was another friend of mine who was talking to me, and she was like, I've tried so many times and I haven't won. Now it doesn't matter. Even if you have tried so many times, keep on trying. You cannot give up on life. It's like, you cannot give up on anything. Even if it's your business, you cannot give up on your business because maybe you say that it was not doing well during COVID, that you're going to close. You have to keep on trying. So try again. This might be the day of luck. Another thing, occupations. I talked about occupations. Go watch that video about occupations and fit your occupation, what you do. Type that, whatever that you do there, and it's gonna bring you an explanation. Actually, the video that I did, when I click, let's assume I clicked on hairdressing, it will bring out all the work that the hairdresser does. So it makes you understand. And I said that US makes you understand everything. Like they walk you through every process. They walk you through. Even if you are, let's assume you are going for a job, you hired a job, and you have gone through training, they will walk you through that job until you understand. Actually, they will do you orientation for 2 weeks so that they know that you are sure. So go there and read, and then you will know where to fit your job. Okay. So I said the website is o.net online. So now let me answer Mr. Kato, and I'm going to read for him this statement here. Is there a minimum age to apply? There is no minimum age to apply, but the requirement of high school education or work experience for each principal applicant at the time of application will effectively disqualify most persons under the age of 18. So there is no minimum, but the high school education, if you don't have that and you do not have that minimum experience, then it's going to disqualify you. So if you are under 18, so Mr. Kato, so I don't know where you if you have a minimum work experience, but you will be disqualified if you don't have those two. You have to have either, especially if you are under 18. That statement is for the people who are not 18 years old yet. Okay, so when do you submit your entry? You will submit your entry as soon as it's available in October, early October. Now, there is if you are in the US, can you enter? Yes, you can enter. But when you enter, you don't fill out the DS-260. You fill out a different form for you to change your status. Okay, so how many times did we say that we are going to apply for the green card? Can I see someone typing for me there? How many times did we say that we are going to apply for the green card application? Please type for me there so that I can see if you understand well about this green card thing. So one of you to tell me how many times are we going to do the application? Okay. So do you only enter during the registration period? Yes. Only when the registration period. If it closes, and don't go the last date. The last date is not the best time to go. Go early or mid, and then you have the highest chances of winning. Do you need a passport? Yes, you do need a passport. What if your passport expires before you apply for the visa? Because it can expire. They say it's current, but it can expire. But if it expires, you must provide evidence why it was changed. You must tell them why did it expire, because initially they had told you they want a current passport. So you have to tell them. This is a question that I have been asked by people. May my spouse and I each submit an entry? Yes, you can. And like I said, when we applied for ours, I applied for mine, my husband, and the kids. And then my husband applied for his, and me and the kids. So that is, in a household, those are two people, two chances that you can you can do the application. Now, what family members must you include? Your spouse. Very, very important. If you are legally married, that is the first sentence there. Your spouse, if you're legally married. If you're not legally married, that is not your spouse. So you don't have to list them there if you're not legally married. Okay. Now, I'm going to read here. It says you must list them regardless whether you are living with them or not. So like I said, if you're separated, you must put your spouse there. Even if you are married in the church and you have been separated for 3 years, put your spouse there. You have to put them there because you are legally, it binds you because you are legally married. This is kind of interesting. Okay. So we said the separation is about a court order and all that stuff. So very, very important. So if you are legally separated with your spouse and you feel like you want to put them there, although you are separated, they won't ask you. You know, you can be separated, but you're still having some contacts, and maybe you tell that your spouse that you're separated, you want to fill out the green card. If you put them there and you're legally separated, they are not going to ask you, but there has to be some documentation showing that you are legally separated. Another thing, if you fail to list your eligible spouse, if you fail to list your legally married person, you will be disqualified. So, and that's why I'm saying we are not going to forget our traditions because that we have to be legally married. Because normally in Kenya or in most African countries, there is the traditional marriage, and the traditional marriage comes before the legal marriage. Like where I come from, the traditional marriage comes before the legal marriage, because before I go and that man puts a ring on my hand, he has to pay dowry. He has to go through all that so that to get consent from my parents. So he might pay dowry and do all that stuff, but he doesn't have a time to do the legal marriage, the ring, the white wedding. That one is a marriage, but there is proof. You know, that marriage has a proof because you have kids. So let's assume you can say that, hey, maybe we have been married, but we don't have kids. What about you have interacted with the relatives? Maybe you have gone for vacations. There's those things that you do together. Even if you're married and you don't have kids, there must be proof that you are married. So, and that is why we didn't have a marriage certificate. But when we won the green card, because like I said, we were married traditionally, and that's accepted in Kenya, because in Kenya, when you live with a spouse even when you live with a spouse for 6 months, whether they have paid your dowry or not, that's your wife, and they have the right to claim. It's only that in Kenya we don't know our rights. You see, even women, they are suffering outside there in Kenya, and the man, you had kids with him and he ran away and he has a good job and you're suffering. You should take that man to court, and that man his salary will be, you will be given some of his salary so that you can take care of those children. You know, I was reading a story about this pastor who had made oh my goodness, he had made a lady pregnant, and he's a prominent pastor, and then he has the audacity to say that he's only going to be paying I don't know, 15,000 or 20,000. He says that the baby doesn't need internet. I'm like, what? Now that here, if he was in the US, oh my goodness, it's not negotiable. What they do here in the US, they look at what you're earning, they will split it. You will go home with nothing. Actually, what they leave for you is very little. So I see the arguments that people are putting there on social media that they like just trying to support to trying to exonerate themselves and trying to say that they are not gonna pay for their kids, and I don't understand. But what I know is that we don't have exposure, especially women. We don't have exposure. Like there's this story that was circulating in social media about this lady with all these kids, and this man has refused. The court demanded that he be paying about some amount of money, and that money is being late paying. Now you can't do that in the US, no. But even in Kenya, if you know the law and you know where to go, and there is no corruption, because corruption is what is making our country like to go on its knees, people can get help. But still, if you know where to go, and I really commend that woman, because she pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. She even went to social media and people cheered her in social media, and until she got her rights. That's how it should be. Even for men, I've seen a man who was left with kids by the wife. If that wife is working, go after her. She's supposed to contribute, because kids do not apply to be born. Kids are born. You choose to have them, so you have to take care of them. So it's sad. It's very, very sad. So please, please, please include your spouse there. Include your children. And I said your children is your natural children, your adopted children, and your step kids. And I'm gonna be firm here on step kids, because I've seen here we have they are called mixed marriages, whereby you find that the man has kids from a previous marriage, and he gets married to a woman from a previous marriage, and they have those kids and they take care of them, and you cannot know, most of them, you just cannot know that those kids do not belong to one of that spouse. But you find that and I'm going to talk about Kenya. Someone wants to marry you, but they want you to take your kid to your parents because they don't want that baby there in that family. But they want you to be their wife, but they do not want you to be in the family. Now, if you fill out a green card and you had a child that you left with your mother, and you did not include that child there because you're married, and maybe your husband or your wife does not want that stepchild, and the consular knows, you're not going to get the visa. They will not give you the visa, because this country, they have not gone anywhere that I have seen that children are valued. Children are, oh my goodness, you cannot, I don't know what I can say, but it's different. So list all those kids. Even if you have 10 children, list them. Even if you have kids that they are your step kids and you're no longer taking care of them, list them, because those are your children. And like I said, they did not apply to be born. You chose to have them. So it's your responsibility to take care of those children. So make sure that you list them in that in your application, and so that they can benefit. Coming to the US is a benefit. And that's why I sit here and I talk about the green card. Because when I look at my children now, like my son, he has a job. He started working when he was 16, when he was still in high school. So he was able to have a car and be able to put gas in his car. So that child is responsible from the time that they are young. But I look at the boys that I left in Kenya who are the same age with my son, and right now they have finished high school, but they don't have jobs. So that child that is your stepchild that you don't want to include them there. It's a benefit for them to come to the US. Because when they come here to the US, it's different. My goodness, it's so different, you won't even believe it. Because this kid will go to school and they will go to college at the same time. They will get loans. Actually, they get grants. Grants is money that you don't have to pay back. So make sure that you list all of your kids in your application. Do not leave your kids behind. I'm the kind of person who would know someone has won a green card and they left their kid behind. Oh, I would tell on you. Why? Because children, they don't apply to be born. You choose to have them. So if you choose to have them, then you have to take full responsibility. We say that I normally there's a saying that says that actions have consequences. Now, if you have a child here when you're 14 years old, you're a boy and you're 14 years old, or you have to find a way to take care of that child. So please make sure that you include all your family members, everyone. Don't leave your wife behind. Don't leave anybody behind. Now, if you have many wives, I said you cannot put many wives, but those wives can put you because you are their husband. They can put you only if all of them you are legally married. Like they can show when you go they go to fill out the DS-260, they will have something to show that you're legally married. So very, very important. Let me see if I have another question there. Hi Charity, Fahad Adwa Al Saudi. Hi Charity, my question in my birth name on my birth certificate has an apostrophe, and my passport and high school certificate does not have an apostrophe. Do I need an affidavit? No, you don't. You don't need an affidavit for that. Make sure that that one is okay. And I'm going to give you the example of my name. Now, when I took my ID in Kenya, my name is Charity, but they put an R instead of a T, so it's spelled Charity. And my KCSE certificate and all my other documents had the name Charity. So that's what made me go and get an affidavit, because Charity and Chariry are different things. So that's what made me get an affidavit. But you find that most of these apostrophes, they are in our names back there, and they are not used here. Now, like my husband's name has 2 apostrophes. My husband's name is Nganga. He has 2 apostrophes, and his passport did not have an apostrophe, and he didn't have a problem. So you don't have to look for an affidavit for that. So just leave that like that. Now, I have the same person. Can I apply using the old Kenyan passport before changing to the new e-passport? New. So how is it a current? It has to be current. And if it expires before you do the whole process after you win the green card, you have to tell them why. You have to show proof why it changed. You have to show them, but it has to be current, because in the application you'll have to do the date of issue and the date of expiry. So you have to tell them why you change your passport. Okay, hi Bubbles, good to see you again. this one calls me Bubbles. I'll tell you why I decided to call my channel Charity's Babu. All right, hi Charity. I have a diploma and it is vocational training while applying for a green card. Kindly help, please. So, o.net is where we are going, vocational training. And when you go to by the way, I forgot that when you are doing the application for the green card, there's a slot for vocational college. Have you gone for vocational college? What is vocational college? Is whereby you learned hairdressing, you learned mechanic, you learned tailoring, you learned what else? All those kazi ya mkono, the work that you do with your hands. That's vocational. You learned plumbing, you learned masonry, all that stuff. All that carpentry. That is vocational training, and there's a slot there for vocational training. So please don't worry about that. Vocational training is good. Actually, if you come here when you know like that work that you can do with your hands, those people get a lot of money. Like here, to pay for labor, it's expensive. 20 people are watching me. Thank you for joining us in Charity's Bubble. The work of the hands is very, 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 very marketable. You get a lot of money. The people who work in road construction here, the Spanish people who work in road construction here, oh my goodness, they make a lot of money. If you are a plumber, you make a lot of money. If you are a hairdresser, you make a lot of money. So those jobs that where and it's good to talk this, because when I was growing up and someone did not have a job that they had to wear a tie and a suit, or they were not a doctor or an engineer, they were not like really considered like important. But those jobs, when you come here to the US, those jobs that that are seen like they're not clean jobs. Wala watu wa mjengo, you know what I mean? Those jobs pay a lot of money here in the US. If like, for example, I have my sink and it's broken and I call a plumber, they will charge me a lot of money. If I have my cabinets, my kitchen cabinets, they're broken, I call someone to come and fix them. It's a lot of money. Even if I have my house and I want it to be remodeled, it's a lot of money that they charge. So vocational training is very good. It's very, very good when you have vocational training. Now, let me give you my own example. I am a nurse. I came and I went to school and became a nurse, right? Now, I was doing hairdressing and beauty back in Kenya, and that's why. So I normally have people that I do their hair. They come to my house and I do their hair. So I still get my money, and I am in my house and I charge them uh, what I want. Like it's you. They pay a lot of money. You know what I mean? If you braid someone, you'll charge them $150, and it won't last you so many hours to do it. That's good money that you're making, and it's in your house. So it's something that you can even do self-employment. So those jobs, those mechanic, just and if you have young people or people who want to come and they want to do something that is they can do manual work, encourage them to do them, because when they come here, the only thing that they have to do is just go and get a license. They go to they have community colleges. Community colleges, you go there and they tell you this is what you require, and then you are licensed, because here you have to be licensed. When you're licensed, then you do your thing and you're good to go. So vocational training, very, very good. So Mary Njogona, hi, I am following. Let me see if I have another question that I can read for you. So I talked about children. May I submit my own entry, or can someone else do it for me? I'm going to read this one because many people have been asking me to do the application for them. And I don't want you guys to feel like I don't want to do the application for you. But I'm not able to do the application for everybody. But when you go to travel.state.gov, they say we encourage you to prepare and submit your own entry. They encourage you to do it by yourself. Why are they encouraging you to do it for yourself? They are encouraging you to do it for yourself so that the answers that you are entering, you know that you are entering the right thing. You're entering the right thing. So let's assume that you go to, and it's okay if you want someone to fill out for you, but do not give your documents to someone and tell them, here, go fill it out for me. No, don't do that. If someone is filling it out for you, then you have to be there, and you don't have to go. It's not like the way you go to a cyber and the cyber person is on this side and you are on the other side and you cannot see what they're doing. No, go look at the screen and see what they're doing. So that they are asking you what to enter the questions, and then you are telling them. Because the application of the green card, if you win the green card, your first application is there, the form that you fill and you submit it online. Your DS-260 is there. Those two forms and the other forms that they will ask you to go with, the other documents that they will ask you to go with, they make copies of all that stuff, and you have your own file. So even when you're going for interviews or whatever, they are asking you questions from what you filled out. They are not asking you questions from somewhere that they are witch hunting. No, they're asking you questions from what you filled out. And that's the American system. Even when we go to school, I've gone to the American school. The teacher, the professor is not going to bring you a test of what you have not studied. They will give you the material. Go study this material, and the test will come from there. That's how the American system is. So now when you're filling those documentation, you are creating your own test. So be there and give the correct answers. Have an email address that you have direct access to, because that email address will be used to inform you of your interviews, not to inform you that you have won. No, it is not going to inform you that you have won, but it's going to inform you of the interviews that will come. It will inform you the day of the medical, the day of the visa interview. So you have to be there. I want us to learn to do stuff for ourselves, because even when you come here to the US, nobody is going to do anything for you. You have to rise up and do it for yourself. If you don't do it for yourself, then even my 5-year-old, they are even in school, they are taught to do it themselves. And if you try to do something for her, she tells you, no, I can do it for myself, because that is how Americans are trained. So I need you to try and do it for yourself. And if you have a problem, just inbox me. I am going to help you. I'm going to walk you through on how to do it. So that's the only thing that I can do. So they encourage you to do your own entry. And if someone, a friend or an attorney or whoever, you have to be there and see. Now, when you fill out your green card application, your confirmation number is going to come out immediately after you do the submission. immediately after you do the submission. Now, and that is why you are encouraged to be there, so that someone doesn't hide your confirmation number, and then later they will tell you, they will tell you, you need me to pay me such amount of money so that I can tell you, because they have looked. They have looked and seen that you have won, and because they have your confirmation number, they have the power to ask you for anything that they want to ask you for. So make sure that you're there, so that when you're going home, you have your confirmation number printed with your name, and you go and keep it safe. Now, that confirmation number is the one that you will use to check in May, to check for your green card in May. So let's learn to do it for ourselves. And when we learn to do it ourselves, we do it best. Like me, now I'm used to doing stuff for myself. So I don't know if I don't know. I just like to do stuff for myself. Now, let me see if I have another question. So she answered, and she said it's current. I'm using it now. I got it here in Qatar from the Kenyan embassy, but Kenya has begun to issue the new e-passport, but currently the embassy doesn't issue it. It's only done in Kenya. Yeah, you can use it if it's current. Use it. It's no problem, as long as it's not an expired. It's not an expired passport. So if you are an immigrant here in the US and you are registered under another category, maybe you came here, or you have kids here, or you have relatives here or friends here who are students, or they came differently. You can come to the US. You can even be invited a visitor. Like I invited my mom the other day here. She can apply for a green card. So it doesn't matter how you came here. You can apply for a green card. So it's okay. You can do that. So when you are doing the application, make sure that where you're going, the internet is okay, because when you start the application, you cannot save it and go back. You have to start it and finish it and submit at that time. So it's not like you're going to do it and then you'll come tomorrow and finish it. No. So make sure that you have everything that is required, so that when you start your application, you do it and you submit and you're good. So you cannot save it online. If the EDV reject my entry, for example, you have done the whole application, but when you submit, it doesn't give you a confirmation number. Can you resubmit? You can resubmit, as long as you didn't get a confirmation number. But if you got a confirmation number, do not do another application, because that will say that you are doing double entry. And we said we are not going to do double entries, because this is not like the one that is done whereby people it's a money lottery that you have. The more you enter, the more you win. No, this one you only do one application. The only way that you can do two is if you are a spouse, and your spouse can do it, and you yourself can do the entry. So the other one is, how soon should I submit my entry when I receive the electronic confirmation notice? So when you do the application and you do the submission, your confirmation comes out immediately. So don't let someone tell you that come tomorrow, I'll give you a confirmation number. No, it comes out immediately. That's when you see it. Now, the last question, I think, how do you know if you are selected? You have to wait until May. It's a long process. So we apply in October, we will wait until May, and then we will go to entrant. It's called entrant status check. Entrant status check. That is where we are going to check. But now we are going to just concentrate on the application, because we are going to apply in October. Starts in 10 days. We are close to October. We only have 10 days to go, and then we do our application. So I don't know if there is anybody else who has a question. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Charity. I was arguing with a friend whose biometrics are scheduled by the end of October. Thus, he might be late before the deadline of the application. Can he apply using a temporary passport? I think your temporary passport has the details like you would have in your other passport, because normally what I see with these passports, they don't change a lot. It's like when you go to, like, if I lost my passport here in the US, or I lost my social, that number is not going to change, and I don't believe that it does. but I don't think it does change. But what they say is that, and they don't say a temporary passport; they just say a passport. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna say yes or no, because I don't want to say no or yes, and it's not the truth. What I'm gonna do, I am gonna look that question and then I'm gonna answer it there. So you look out for the answer before the end of the day. You will find the answer, because I will look at that answer and I will let you know. Okay. So that question of father of kids, what if he write a consent letter, he allowed to travel with the kids and you're no longer together? Yeah, he can do that because those are his kids. You know, even if you separated with someone, those are his kids. You cannot say that they are not his kids, they are his kids. If he gives you consent to travel with them, then well and good. Actually, it's better, because they won't think that you are kidnapping your own children. Okay. Hello again, asking for a friend. She has a diploma in public relations. When applying for a green card, will it be under sub university courses? Now, a diploma is a diploma. So a diploma is a diploma. So it will be under some university courses, but they will say that they have a diploma, because you have a diploma, you have a degree, and you have a master's. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a form like the one that I did for the DS260, so that you can see, like under you know, when you see, you know, it's when you see is better. For me, I am a visual person. Like when I see something and I read about it, it sticks in my mind. It doesn't go away. So I'm the kind of person who likes to read something. So and I think that's what I'm trying to do in this channel. Like, I'm trying to do something that's a visual that someone can see, because when you see that picture is there in your mind and you don't forget about it. So so I think I have talked about many issues. So unless there's someone else who has a question, I'm gonna give it a few minutes before I log out here. And I really, really, really appreciate like you joining me for this live and asking questions and being interactive. You know, I'd be so sad if I was just here by myself and I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I really, really, really appreciate your time and energy, and call your friends, call your relatives, so that we can share in this information. And like I said, when I got my green card, I had no clue. I didn't even know. Actually, I didn't even, I knew that there was a green card, but I didn't know how it went about. And there was nothing like this online that some people would talk about the green card lottery. So it was just witch hunting, but by the grace of God, we were able to finish everything until we finished the whole process. But the thing is, with information, when you have information, you have power. With information, you have power. And what why people fail is that because they don't have the right information. And like I said, go to travel.state.gov and read more about this information. Go there, read, verify, and just because I will give you tips, but I'm not going to read the whole website. It's a very extensive website. Actually, there's so much information to be read there. So go there, you get something extra, and it helps you. You know what I mean? Let me see if there's anything. I want to know what exactly to include in the CV for the green card to make it very attractive. You don't need a CV. Are you talking about the application? Because the application is all what I said. The photo, you need to have your passport, you need to list your spouse, you need to list your date of birth, you need to list your marital status, and that's it. You don't need a CV. And when it talks about the education, list what you have. They don't care whether you went to university or whether you went to primary. They don't care. And that's why they are giving you an option of minimum work experience. So make sure that you just fill out where you reached. Even if you reached class 8, they will ask you for minimum work experience. Okay, DJ Pinches is asking, is there any common mistakes that people do during the application? Yes. For example, you misspell your name. You misspell your name. So that is why you have to double check. You type your name there. You know, sometimes even when you're texting someone, you will type something and then you check, you are like, I spelled that name, that word incorrectly. So it's good to double check. Even your name, your date of birth, double check. The photo, if you do not have the right requirement, and I read I read the requirements of the photo at the beginning of this show. If you don't have the right requirement, that's a mistake, because you didn't follow what they wanted. If you don't list your spouse, that is a mistake. If you do not list your children, that is a mistake. If you list the children that you're living with and you don't list your stepchildren, that is a mistake. So there are so many mistakes that people make, knowingly or unknowingly. Some people make them knowingly and some others make them unknowingly. So you have to, and that's why I say, when you go to watch my videos, watch them from the beginning to the end, because I have given you everything. That now, like, I uploaded this video about how to fill out the green card visa. I have talked about every detail, what you do, where you go, and actually I even included the words so that you know where you're going, and that's how it will flow. It's going to start from your name and it's going to end with the children. When it ends with the children, there will be a second page that's going to open, and that page that's going to open is going to list the information of your spouse, and then it's going to list the information of your children. If you have one child, the next, because when you list the children, you know, that form is very funny. When you the first page, you will list your spouse, right? And then the other slot for the children, you will list your kids. Let's assume you listed 0. When you open the other page, it's not going to give you a slot to apply for the kids. But if you list the number of kids, maybe you say 4, when you open the next page, it's going to give you 4 spaces to fill out your children. You understand what I mean? So you are the one who is guiding the form on what to do. You're the one who is telling the form what to do. So if you submit the first page without listing your spouse or listing your child, then that's a mistake. That's why I'm saying we have to be honest from the beginning, because that form, you guide it. It's going to be have 2 pages before you submit it. So the second page is going to be information of your spouse and information of the children, but you have to guide it from the first page. If you say 0, then you go to the next page, it's going to tell you to submit. See what I mean? Okay, if you say 0 children, when you go to the other page and you want to fill out with the children, it's going to tell you to submit. It's not going to let you go back. I don't know, like, it's just, so make sure that you fill out the right information. Follow those guidelines. Follow the guidelines, and you will be able to increase your chances of winning, because you have to do it right. Because they have, it's a test with a Mwakenya, you know, that whatever that you have to, it's a copy test. Like, the answers are there, but you only have to take those answers and enter them correctly. So those mistakes are, you have to be like very careful, and always double check before you submit. Double check, and just make sure that you're doing the right thing. The email is another thing. By this time, in this era, everybody should have an email address. Use your own personal email address, the one that you have access to. Do not use the person. If someone is filling for you, and we said we are going to try our best and fill for ourselves, but if someone has to fill for you, please make sure that you use your own email address. So those are the common mistakes. So please watch out for those ones. So Pixel Productions, thank you for watching us. Hi Charity. If a family wins, can only the principal request to process alone, yani fill out the DS-260 alone, go for medicals and the visa interview alone to reduce the cost of the process? No, you can't do that. Because if you have a family, you have a family. So you cannot, you have to fill them. If you fill them in your first application, everybody you included in your first application must appear in the second application unless they died. Huh? And especially your kids, you know, kids don't have a say. The only option that they give you there is that you process, go for the medicals, go for the interview. And I did a video about why you will fail for your visa interview. If you fail to bring everybody who you listed from the first application to the DS-260 to the interview with you, you will fail. So the only option that they give you, Pixel Productions, is that they will you have to do the process, but you can go as the primary applicant, and then within 6 months you go back home for your family. But if you listed that you have them, then that's your burden. You have to carry it. Yes. So talk about adopted children. Now, adopted children are those children that you brought into your family and made them like your own children. Now, when you adopt a child, you must have legal documentation that you have adopted them. It doesn't matter even if it's your sister's child or your little brother. You have to have consent from the parents that you have adopted those kids, especially if they are minors, because they want they are very cautious on children trafficking, because they do not want kids to be taken from their countries to be brought to the US without their parents' consent. So you must have a legal letter, maybe from the children's department, that says that you are the legal guardian of that child. Without that, even if they are your adopted kids, then you will be denied the visa, because they will ask you whose children are those. Yes, you are saying that you have adopted them. What are you showing? What documentation do you have to say that these children are legally yours by adoption? So adopting the kids, it's okay, but you have to have legal documents. It's like the marriage. I said they only recognize the marriage that you have that marriage certificate. So even the kids who are adopted, you must have that document that shows that those are your kids. That is to prevent children from being abducted or trafficked or taken to another country without their parents' consent. And you might be very honest, even taking care of those kids, but they want to see proof that those are your children. Because when you adopt your kids, you take full responsibility. Those are your children. You cannot, even if you adopt kids and you have your own, you cannot start doing separation, saying that these are not mine and these ones are adopted. No, you have to treat them equally, because those are your kids and you chose to adopt those children. So that's a very, very important question you have to do. Booster Internet is asking, good morning, Charity. After winning the green card, how long will you take to relocate? Now, the visa depends on when it's available, and they will let you know. That is why I said you have to have an email, because they will use your email address to let you know when your visa is available. And those visas have many numbers, so it depends on the rank of your number. But now, like us, we got our green card. We won in May. We went for our interview the following year in April. And April, when we got our visa, they gave us 6 months to be in the US. So it depends on them. You have to look out on that email, because they are the ones who will guide you. They are the ones who will tell you. So that was our time frame. So it could be close to that time frame, but they are the ones who are going to let you know, like when to do all that stuff. How are you supposed to name your passport photo that you are required to upload in your application? Just name, like the way you save a document and you say maybe if you have saved just call it photo, or maybe you say green card photo, and you save it. You can even save it on your desktop or on your documents, or you can even save it on your photos, but name it. You can say green card photo, and then when it comes to upload, you'll just upload it on the documentation. Roslyn family episodes. Please go back, Kidogo. You've skipped my question. Let me see. Roslyn family episodes. There. Especially. So I said if you do not have you do not know the whereabouts of the father. So were you asking if the kids are written whatever? I said in that question, I said if the kids, and if the dad's name of the kid, if the dad's name, your kid's dad's name is on their birth certificate, you'll have to have something to say that he allows you to travel with your kids to the US, because he's a parent. He's a parent. Unless you have legal documentation. And if you don't have the now here, let me advise you nicely. I would look for an advocate and ask for that question, because you're saying that you don't know the whereabouts of their father. Kindly look for an advocate, and they're going to advise you accordingly about that question. See, because if you don't know where the dad is and you can't find them, and you have the kids, but the kids have his name, but you can't find them, you still have a way to prove that you are the one who is taking those, you have the custody of those kids. So that one is it's something like to do with that you have to do it legally, so that like you show that you are the one who has been having the custody of your children. Okay, let's see. I hope I have answered your question, Roslyn. Rico Dual, can one use a temporary passport to apply? I said that question, I didn't say yes or no. I said I was going to answer that question later when I look at it about the temporary passport. Hi, we applied with my wife. My wife was selected, but she didn't include my names there. So how is she going to get me there now? Oh my goodness. Were you and sorry, I'm not laughing at your question, but I'm laughing because I've just talked about this like like a minute ago. Now, were you legally married? That's the first thing. Were you legally married with your wife? Because if you are legally married with your wife, then your wife made a mistake. That is grounds for her not getting the visa. Because if she asks you in the DS-260 and you were not in the first application, that will make them deny that visa. And when I was explaining about application of the form, I was saying that when you guide the application form, if you say that you have a wife or you have a husband, and you say about your kids, you say the number of your kids, the next page gives you the space to add your spouse and the details of your spouse and the kids. You see what I mean? Now, you did not list them, and you did not list them, and you have won the green card, and you add the spouse that you did not list. Now, that is a problem because they will not give you the visa. Now, unless you got married because you can't stop your life because you filled out the green card, unless you got married within that time frame and you have proof. You must show proof. It's not, if that person was not there and now they are there, and there is no, there is no evidence. Now, like ours, we didn't have a marriage certificate, but we had kids. The kids' birth certificate had the name of my husband, and they had my name. So that's one proof. So you have to like really have proof. But if you are legally married to your wife and they add you on the DS-260, she's not going to get that visa. She won't get that visa. And I've talked about that and said that question that I know. I don't know people personally, but I know stories of people who have filled out the green card and they have won, and they have come to live here in the US, knowing well they are of sound mind that they have spouses and they have kids, and they come here and they forget about them. So I'm like, how do they live with that? Will she add me now, or I wait until she gets permanent residency? Now, when she comes to the US, when she gets that visa and she's admitted to the US, she will be at the port of entry, she will be admitted as a permanent resident. Now, I don't know. That's why I'm asking, were you legally married, or were you just married the way we get married in Kenya? We get married in like the traditional way. Because if you are legally married, there is that form that shows that you are legally married. So that means that she chose not to put you there. Then that could be grounds for disqualification. And I am going to read here for you. Let me see if I have that paper that okay. Spouse. I'm going to read this one for you. If you are legally married, you must list the spouse regardless of whether he or she lives with you or intends to migrate you to the United States. That is, if you're legally, you have a marriage certificate. Now, if you're legally separated, you have to list your spouse. Let me see. That's a sentence that I want to do. If you are not married at the time of entry, but plan on getting married in the future, do not list a spouse on your entry form, as this would make you ineligible for a DV. So you are not married. You didn't have evidence. You are not married traditionally, because I said we are not going to forget our traditions because we are filling out the green card. But when you are married, even if you are married traditionally, you have proof. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you have stuff that you have been doing together for the time that you have been together. So the only thing I can say is that uh, when your wife comes to the US, she will be a permanent resident when she's admitted in the US. Like she's a permanent resident. But if you are not legally married, maybe then you can get married. But if you are legally married, there is gonna be a question mark because she failed to list you there, and you had been legally married. But I've read for you that it says if you are not legally married, do not list your spouse. So if you didn't have a marriage certificate by the time she was filling out the green card, then you are not her husband according to immigration. You understand what I mean? You are her husband according to our Kenyan traditional marriage, but you're not her husband. So she cannot list you if you're not legally married. You understand what I mean? So it's not going to be a problem. But if you had that legal document, then that one she would have to come here and stay, and then she would have to consult attorneys, and then they would advise her accordingly. But that's how it is. If you don't have a marriage certificate because the immigration, so you are married traditionally. If you are married traditionally, then it's okay. It's fine, because that means that you are a boyfriend. That's what I can say, because that's how US is. Like I said, if you live with a man without being legally married, that's your boyfriend. So it's okay. They can still go, and then they can still get married. They don't tell you where to get married, even if you come to the US and you become a citizen or you become a permanent resident. They don't actually, unless you break the law, they're not gonna like influence who you're gonna marry. No. So you can always come and get married. Did you have kids? I don't know if you had kids, because if you had kids, then that's another thing. Because like I said, as we were married traditional marriage, but we had children. We had kids. So what we did, so that, of course, having kids and having lived for those years, we are married, but we don't have that paper that is required, right? So we just went and we did a wedding. Actually, it was not a wedding. It was we just went through mass and we got our marriage certificate. So if you are married traditionally and whatever, and but she did not list you as a spouse, because in Kenya, and I want you to get me very, 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 very clearly. In Kenya, we have traditional marriage. Those are our ways. And here in the US, they want that marriage that you are legal. Now, me and my husband, we didn't have that paper. We were married, like you are saying, you are married traditionally. But when we applied for the green card, we filled each other's names. We were there. And because we had filled each other's names, that is why when we won the green card, we were able to confidently go and get the marriage certificate, what was required, the paperwork to prove that we had been married. But if they had asked for another proof, then we would have given them proof, our kids or whatever, But now, if you are just living together and you don't have kids or whatever, it's okay. That one, they term, if you don't have that documentation, is you're just like a boyfriend. And when she goes to the US and becomes a permanent resident, nobody is going to influence where she's going to get married. You can still get married. People have gotten married. So so the only way that they will penalize you if you had a marriage certificate, if you are legally separated and you didn't list your spouse. So those are the only times that you will be separated. But if you're not married legally and you list that person, then they will disqualify you. So that's that's the best I can answer your question. I hope that I was able to answer your question by reading that statement. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks. I get you now. Yeah. So I just wish you all the best. I wish you all the best, and I hope that everything works out for you. Because it's a chance to come here to the US. It's a good opportunity to, and actually Emerge Kenya TV, he can tell you he's lived in the US. Like it's the best opportunity. Like you can have a chance in life to come and live in the US, whereby you're going to an office to get a document, and you do not have to bribe someone. You are applying for even your kids' birth certificates, even your passports. You're just paying money online, and you wait in your house, and the passport or the birth certificate will just find you in your house, maybe in a certified mail or in your regular mail. So if someone has a chance to come to the US, it's a good chance. It's, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I can say. It's a good chance. And that's why I encourage all of you, don't give up. Please fill out the green card. Fill out the green card. And I'm going to talk about the students, because I know there are some people who have come here as students. I'm also going to talk about the marriage, because there are some people who still come here and they get married and they get so there are many ways, but I want to concentrate on the green card. And when I'm done with this one, then I can go to other things, because there are other ways. It's not only the green card. There are so many ways you can come. Like for example, the people, the like in Afghanistan, when the Taliban took over, you find that there were some people from there who immigrated. They came with the planes and they came to the US. Now those people, when they come here as refugees. And even I've seen people from Sudan, people from Rwanda, who have come from those countries that they have been war stricken, and they have come here as refugees. And when they come here, it takes time. They file for asylum, and then they still get. It takes time, but they get permanent residency, and they still get citizenship. So there are so many processes, but I have to go and read on it so that I come and just give you the best tips that I can. But I want to talk about the students. After I'm done with this green card, I'm going to talk about the students, because I know that that's another way that our young people can come to the US. Just apply for a college, and when you get the I-20, then you come here and you study, and you do good. You see, you have no kids, so that one is just term it as you are her boyfriend, and then just let her go, because you didn't have anything legal. And then when she goes, then she can, because when you're permanent resident, you can go, come, go, come, go, come. Then you can get married. Nobody is going to ask you, and then she's going to file for you as a spouse after. I don't know how that process goes, but I know that there's that process. So nobody is going to influence her on who to marry. So if you didn't have kids, just I'm going to tell you to term it the way here in the US we would say that you are her boyfriend. You're not her husband, you're her boyfriend. So let her go through the process and everything. Just the way she said she was single, it's okay. She was truthful. She said she was single because she didn't have a marriage certificate. And then after she had done all the process, then you guys can still get married later, and then she can file for you. Because I know there are some people who have come here as young people, and then they have gone back home, and they have gone there and gotten their spouses, and they have been able to file for them, and they have brought them here. So that's good to know, and I wish you all the best in that. Yeah, Emerge Kenya, encourage everyone to apply. You have been in this country, so you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So encourage everybody to apply. We want people to come and yeah, and just benefit. Just share on this table. Just share, and even if you don't get it this year, try next year. Keep on trying. There was a lady who was asking me that if she's too old to apply because she was sister. I told her, no, you're not too old to apply. Just apply. Even if you win a green card when you're 80 years old, it's your luck. They won't tell you that you won't come in here. No, you can come. You know what I mean? Although, when you're 80, those ambitions are gone. You don't have ambitions anymore. But please, try and apply for the green card. So I'm going to end it here. It's been 1 hour, 43 minutes, 36 seconds. 24 people are watching me. Thank you. And please continue subscribing to Charities Bible USA. It is your #1 channel where I give you tips about the green card, and we have fun, and we ask questions, and we refer to we refer to the source, and we just try to help each other so that we can know this information. Now, if you have more questions, please leave them on the comment section. I am going to read them, and I am going to answer them. We have a WhatsApp group. I have pinned the URL there. You can type it and join our WhatsApp group. Let me just for a minute just check if I have a question that I didn't answer in the WhatsApp group, because I had told them I would answer the questions in YouTube. I decided I'm not going to be going to Facebook, because if I go to Facebook, and I like to be honest, like very honest. If I go to Facebook, people want to listen in Facebook and they don't want to subscribe to my channel. I want people to subscribe to my channel. Now here is marketing. Now I have started to market myself. Now because I want people to watch me on YouTube, I will be doing my lives on YouTube, answering all your questions in YouTube. So even if if you're in Facebook, I want you to cross over, come subscribe to my channel, ask me questions there, so that all of us can benefit. So let me see. Let me see if there's any question that was here in the WhatsApp, and then I'll answer it. Oh, this one was asking about the passport application. I think there's a way that you log in and you see if the process it's on, where the stage that it's on before you get it. And I pray for you guys to have your passport before the end of this month, so that you can do the application as the first lot. Where do you clarify your documents after winning? This one is in the WhatsApp group. Now you don't clarify your documents. They will send you an email to the website, to go to and they will give you the website to go travel.state.gov to fill out your DS-260. And the DS-260 is whereby you are going to fill all your information. That is where you will fill your work experience. That is where you will elaborate what you do. That is where you will give copies of your marriage certificate. That is where you will give copies of your police certificate, police clearance certificate. That is why you will put copies of the birth certificate of your kids. That is why you will put copies of your marriage certificate. And if you don't put them in with the DS-260, because the DS-260 you have to mail it. When you fill out the DS-260, you print it out, put it in an envelope, and it's for every individual who is traveling with you. You put it in an envelope and you take it, you mail it. It goes to Kentucky. The Department of State, their office is in Kentucky. When you send it there, after a while, depending on them and when your visa is going to be available, is when they are going to send you an email that has scheduled your appointment, where to go for your appointment, and it has told you, it has scheduled the date of your interview, but it will tell you where to go for your appointment. So when you call them, you tell them, I am calling because I have won a green card, I have won a diversity visa, so that they put you, they get you as soon as near your appointment for the visa. So your documents, you are not submitting them anywhere. You are going to wait. After you win, you are going to wait for the email for you to fill out your DS-260, and then when you mail it, that's when you mail with your documents. If you did not mail all the documents that they require, then when you are going for your visa interview, you will carry everything that you did not mail. Now, when you're mailing the stuff, do not mail the originals. You only mail photocopies. Don't mail any original document. Your marriage certificate, your KCSE certificate, the birth certificate of the children, do not mail them, the originals. Only mail, if you have to mail your documents, mail the copies, photocopies. So that should be very clear. Do not mail your original documents, because they require original documents. And I like even to refer here. Even here, when you have kids who are born here and they're American citizens, I have 2 that I gave birth here. When we went to apply for their passports, we did not go with their photocopy of their birth certificate. I remember my 5-year-old, I had carried a photocopy, and my other one I had carried the original. Actually, the only process for the younger one, they told me to go back. They gave me another appointment to go back and take the original document. So your original documents, those ones, you must take them with you to the embassy. So don't mail your original documents, just do photocopies. So don't worry about that much. So I see there was someone here. Go to her channel. Go to her YouTube channel and search for her channel, and you will see the latest post that she was live a few hours ago, just helping you before you respond. So there's someone who is telling the people that I was live because today I decided not to go to Facebook. All right, now I am gonna say goodbye, and I'm gonna do another live show on Saturday, the same time. At it's gonna be 5 p.m. in Kenya because I started at 10 a.m. Now it's 11:50 a.m. here in the US. So thank you for your time. Charities Babo USA is a place that we come and listen to everything. So call people to come and subscribe. Call your friends, make a comment, give a thumbs up to any video that you watch, and make sure that you watch the videos from the beginning to the end so that you can get something. So until Saturday, the same time and the same place, thank you. God bless you. God keep you, and may you stay safe.